Hey everyone, welcome back to Eat the Cake Anime. I'm your host, Jay Renee, and guess who I have with me?
I'm back, everybody. Her ever-loving husband and sidekick, Ron.
Yes, welcome back, producer Ron. We missed you these past couple of weeks. You feeling better?
A lot better, babe.
All right, great. All right, you guys, it is a brand new week. Firstly, we hope that everyone had a fantastic Mother's Day. To everyone out there celebrating their mother, and to everyone out there who is a mother, we hope you had a great day this past Sunday. So now let's get into it. We're back, you guys, Villains Month. So now, producer Ron, you will have a chance to kind of weigh in. I know you've been chomping at the bit with this month. Are you ready?
Okay, so right now what we're going to do is we're going to go into a villain who needs absolutely no introduction. If you've seen Hunter x Hunter, he is the primary antagonist of the series. We're talking about Hisoka.
Oh, Hisoka. Okay, Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
Now, this man is a full-blown menace from the time that his face first popped up on the scene. Now, I don't want to give him a, how can I say it, a bad rap, but it's some screw loose with this boy.
Well, yeah, and for those who don't know, Hunter x Hunter was a huge manga about 15 years or so, and actually it's continuing now as recently as 2024 because the writer or the creator, Yoshihiro, I think it's Yoshihiro Togami, Togashi has a couple of health issues, but Hunter x Hunter, the anime, it was 6 seasons from 2011 to 2014. And when I tell you guys, those arcs from the Hunter exam to Heaven's Arena, Greed Island, the Chimera Ants, everything, it was nonstop. And they did one, and then they did a remake several years later.
The remake was way better.
Yeah, the remake was way better. And I think the first one was in 99 maybe? Yeah, 99, 2000. But then in 2011, they came back with the anime. So you guys, for this segment of Eat the Cake Anime, we're going to let producer Ron, because he feels so strongly about this anime and this character, this particular villain is like no other. So we're going to see what he has to say. All right, producer Ron, the floor is yours.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Everybody knows about the friendship between Gon and Killua as they go through the Hunter exam. They become friends and everything else like that. And they have their misadventures along with the rest of the cast and crew of the Hunter x Hunter series. But then in the midst of that, they meet Hisoka. Hisoka has problems. This man is a clown / mimic / I don't want to call him a pervert, but
a pervert? No, not a pervert. I think he's one of those creatures in the alternate universes that it's just something. You guys know I've been talking about how I love the sinister, suave villains. He's like that, but with a couple of fetishes when it comes to fighting particularly strong people, and things like that. Oh, and for context, you and I know we differ on the way we pronounce this character's name. It's Hisoka, it's Hisoka, it's Hisaka, it's whatever your pleasure is. So to those who have seen Hunter x Hunter, or some people say Hunter x Hunter, so you already know what we're talking about.
With that being said, this boy got problems. Now, he has this little, I guess we'll call it a fetish, where he really likes to fight strong people. Now, if you're weak, he's not really going to pay you any attention. He might mess around with you, or if he sees some potential in you, he might do something to foster it, to, let you slide this time to see if you're going to get any stronger, because he gets his proverbial rocks off by fighting strong people, which is how he ended up joining the Spiders. This man has been a menace, and the closest thing that I can associate Hisoka with is Venom. Venom is a sometimes good guy, sometimes bad guy. He's the antagonist, sometimes friend of the main character. And with that being said, depending upon which way the wind is blowing, that's the way Hisoka is going to deal with you in the midst of any given opportunity or any given chapter of this entire manga and or anime.
So would you say that Hisoka just had, it was wherever there was trouble or wherever it was an opportunity to show, show off or to shine in a truly villainous way, that he was there? Because he had a lot of nefarious things going on, especially during the, what is it, the Phantom era arc.
Mhm.
It was a lot of things going on that you just didn't understand, and it's like, okay, this character, this creature has to be one-dimensional, but it turns out he was so much more, but not in a good way.
Yeah, well, when we look at his character, he's cool, calm, and collected throughout the entire series. Very resolute in respects to everything that he's doing, and he holds his character, pretty much close to the vest, close to the chest, however you want to say it. But when this man sees something that he wants to do, or sees somebody who he really wants to fight, oh, this man is
it's on. And some of the things that he does kind of borders on like the skeevy, like the little smarmy kind of things that make you kind of cringe, but at the same time you want to see what happens next.
There's some type of psychosis, punch drunk love that this man has, where I'm trying to find a good context to put on it. I mean, he's one of those characters that you love to hate and hate to love, because he's aside from Gon, he's the standout character of the series. And his powers are bungee gum. And aside from bungee gum, there's texture, surprise, and so forth. This man, please, if any of you have not seen Hunter x Hunter, and Mr. Togashi, we pray for your health and well-being. We want you to come back. We want you to do the things that we all love you for. But this man, give us a little bit more backstory, because we want to know where this mental pattern came from.
Well, I remember like back then we were all, well, those of us who were into Hunter x Hunter, we were trying to figure out if Hisoka would have his own like OVA, if there would be a standalone movie, if there'd be something that would be devoted to him, or even like an arc. Because the way he ended in the show, it was just like, now what? Like, what's next? Like, where is he? Like, what's going on? It was very open-ended, in my opinion. And in this world, in the Hunter x Hunter world, everybody knows that, everybody knows the story. Gon wants to be a hunter to look for his dad, Gene, who he doesn't really know, but he's excited because it must be a great job being a hunter to leave your son and all this other good stuff, right? Cool. But the people that he encountered along the way, when we talked about the spiders, to me, it's a gang, but to me, Hisoka was really the worst of the worst, but he wasn't even the leader. And he was never out in front. He was never showing off or showcasing what he can do, because, don't get it twisted, in Hunter x Hunter is a lot of evil going on. And that Chimera Ant arc, oh my god, I can't even. But we're focusing on Hisoka right now. Okay. So,
now, when we run into Hisoka from the very beginning, it's the Hunter examination. Now, he sees Killua, he sees Gon, and he sees them, and he sees some potential in these young kids. So he beats up Gon a little bit, and they develop this kind of, I'm not going to call it a friendship, but a light rivalry, if we want to call it that. And it starts to develop over the course of time. And to see Gon's full potential come to fruition or whatever, he doesn't really let anybody pretty much mess with Gon, because he's like, okay, this is a fruit that's not quite ripe enough, and we're trying to make sure that he can grow in potential so he can become strong enough that he's going to fulfill my needs. And there's plenty of times where he stopped other characters from doing things to Gon, because he wants that fulfillment of fighting another strong fighter, because that's kind of his fetish. And over the course of time in Hunter x Hunter, we see him do a great many things, and his character is very well developed, and we would love to see maybe a spin-off maybe some of his early chapters where we see how he developed into who he is, because somebody has had to train this man.
Right. And like I said, with the Phantom Troop, I mean, Crollo was the leader, and he had a thing. He wanted to fight Crollo. I mean, he wouldn't stop until he infiltrated and just did some crazy things. But then that ended up taking a turn. You had another member from the troop, Pakanoda. It's just very interesting how Hisoka managed to stand out with, through all of this evil, or through all of the villains that are throughout Hunter x Hunter. So I think this was a very good choice. I think this was a very good choice because his type of villainy is different in a way. I talked for a couple of weeks about how I really like the intelligent villains, the ones that are smart, the ones that are suave. But in this particular instance, Hisoka is smart, but he's also very powerful. He's also very base-like. He's also, in addition to being very cunning, he can be empathetic. But he also has this air of, surprisingly enough, mentorship about him that made him so interesting. So he had a combination of a lot of things. So I think this was a very good choice for villains this month.
Yeah, so with that being said, please, Mr. Togashi, we continue to pray for your health. We know your wife is there with you. She's got to do the Sailor Moon thing, and we're hoping that you guys continue to move forward. We know it's the back problems and everything else. So again, we continue to pray and hope the best for your health.
Yeah. So for this anime, like I said, it stopped. It was 6 seasons. It was 2011 to 2014. There's nothing new on the anime horizon, but Hunter x Hunter did do a continuation last year. So if you're into the manga, they still have weekly episodes on Shonen Jump. So you guys make sure to check it out. If you want to check out the Hunter x Hunter anime, y'all, it's everywhere. It's on Netflix, it's
Literally
on Prime, it's on Hulu, it may be on Tubi, it's probably on IMDb. It's everywhere because it's one of those classic animes that even when you do a reboot, it just gets better and better.
And it holds up to time.
It holds up. I actually want to do a whole month about Hunter x Hunter, but we can discuss that later on. So we're smack dab in the middle of Villains Month, and we thank you guys for being on this ride with Eat the Cake Anime because we've gotten such great reception. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Thanks so much to Z Media. We appreciate the edits. Zani is doing a fantastic job. You guys go out and support Z Media as well. She does a fantastic job. Thank you so much. So that's it. Anything else, Producer Ron? We're glad you're back. We're glad you're better.
Like, share, and subscribe.
All right. So until next week, you guys, we're going to have another villain on deck. But thank you for joining us for this week's episode. And until next time, don't forget, at Eat the Cake Anime, it is okay to enjoy anime.